Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Master Premier Classic, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Dragonite! Dragonite on a double flyer ABB style team, and it was quite effective, guys. Kind of a bit of a theme developing with this go around of the Master Premier Classic. If you can recognize the theme, let me know. But we've got Dragonite here on the back on this classic ABB style team. Dragonite can prove to be a very strong closer, especially with the new coverage of Superpower. And also on this team, we've got good old Gyarados on the save swap, running Waterfall. Now, I did start out running Dragon Breath, and you guys will see a couple of the bonus battles, how to play Gyarados with Dragon Breath as well, but ended up switching to Waterfall. It kind of helped out in the end. And also on this team, we've got Excadrill on the lead. Rounding out this ABB style team, Excadrill is the steel type on the lead to protect our flyers from the rock types, electric types. It protects them from the steel types as well. Excadrill, always a very powerful lead. But before we dive into the featured set of the video, we are starting things off with some bonus battles that I thought were tons of fun. And here we go, Haxorus. This is initially why I started out with Dragon Breath on Gyarados, but later found that I was drawing out far too many Togekisses than I cared to see. And with Dragon Breath, they just farm you all the way down. They don't have to shield anything. They load up on energy and they can grab a shield from you. So this is one of the few battles that we actually were doing Dragon Breath on Gyarados. And it's actually working out for us pretty well because we are putting in the work on this Metagross here that they counter swapped us with. I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail and take out the Metagross. That is amazing. And they've got a Scizor in the back. You don't often see these floating around in the Master Premier Classic, but here we are. Gyarados, holy smokes, going on a rampage, and they are not shielding anything thus far. Not sure what their angle is or what's going on. Maybe a no-shield challenge. Who knows? But we're tanking this, and we are going to look to go for yet another Aqua Tail here. They have to shield this if they want to flip this. If they don't, we're saying bye-bye to the Scizor. And holy smokes, they're down to one Pokemon. And we have just the answer to it in the form of Dragonite. Dragonite is the ultimate answer to something like a Haxorus, especially when it's running counter, because you resist the fast mid-pressure and they take super effective from yours as we Dragon Breath down. The no shield challenge did not work out, unfortunately, but that's going to be a good game. Well played. I would say the Superpower update was very solid for Dragonite, especially in this meta. And here we go. Gyarados on the lead. It is running Dragon Breath, so that means we can hang out here a little bit and put the pressure on this Gyarados. Of course, if it's running Waterfall, you are out of there just as fast as you can get out, and they do tank the Rock Slide, but we will not tank their Aqua Tail in return. Gonna absolutely shield this. Excadrill is the squishiest Pokemon on the team, so the shields must be saved for Excadrill in all general circumstances as they make a play into their own Excadrill. Speaking of, but we have the energy lead. They do have a shield advantage, and we're going for drill run number 2. Excadrill absolutely has to shield every drill run from an opposing Excadrill. It does one shot. And speaking of, we will shield this and try our very best to take out this opposing Excadrill here. I absolutely botched this. I missed a mud shot and was thinking that they were one off. I fully intended to catch the drill run on the Gyarados, but instead we're losing our Excadrill, and now shields are down on both ends. And their Excadrill is going on an absolute rampage, guys. This is no fun, guys, but gonna look to take it out, but no, they catch. Hats off to our opponent. They are making all the right calls, all the right plays at just the right times. Good on them. But this is just an Aqua Tail. We are not going to get KO'd by an Aqua Tail, of course, and we're going to farm down. Now, because they made that aggro swap and caught our Aqua Tail, their switch timer is not quite up yet. So we are playing with that in mind and fully intend to take full advantage of it. We are just stalling the clock while also getting off some chip damage on the Swampert here. Now, the play in this battle is to, one, not have your move caught again on the Excadrill, and two, to leave it with a superpower loaded. They tried to catch, but instead they are catching some super effective damage as we say bye-bye to the Excadrill. And now it is all but over. The Swampert can do nothing. The Dragonite, even having our defense lowered from throwing the superpower, that does no damage. And we're just going to take it out with a Dragon Claw to seal the deal in this matchup as we say bye-bye to the Swampert. Dragonite coming in clutch, sweeping the endgame in dominant fashion. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Goodness, it's easy to forget how much work Dragonite can put in. It is a thing of beauty. And here we go, Haxorus leads. So this time we have Waterfall on our Gyarados. And when that is the case, we actually save swap Dragonite to draw out that hard counter. And in this case, it comes in the form of Metagross. So we were fully intending to go back-to-back superpower, but we didn't want to give them a shield advantage. So we ended up tanking this Meteor Mash and fully underestimating how much damage it would do. We thought that we would leave a little healthier, so we were forced to throw our superpower a little earlier than we wanted and did not even get to the second one, but that is okay. It works out because it gives this Excadrill just enough farm to really load up on energy. Gonna tank this, just a Meteor Mash. It hurts, but we tank it pretty well. And now we are fully expecting that Haxorus to come back in, so we are gonna really put the pressure on it with the threat of a drill run. They can tank it, and they do, so it is Gyarados time now. And them tanking that really worked out because it allows us to fully farm down with resisted waterfalls, and we will shield this because we are fully expecting a second steel type, usually in the form of Excadrill. And there it was, right on cue as they top left. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. As we saw, not only can Dragonite close the game strong, but Waterfall Gary can do the job as well. And here we go. Speaking of Dragonite, we are met with one on the lead. Dragonite leads typically compared with two steel types in the back. Very classic and effective line. But we are just going to play this out a little bit. They do tank the first Rock Slide. They can. This matchup is a lot closer than you would like to see, considering you are a steel type, but Dragonite is so overpowered. And with its flying typing, it's resisting your fast move pressure. You're basically doing no damage, which is why they can comfortably tank the first move. And we were really off on our timing in this battle. We really should have caught that second superpower, but here we are. No shields and a squishy mole here. Let's see what we can do. They bring in a Hydreigon, so we chip with a drill run, and now we're going for the full aggressive farm down with our own Dragonite here. And because we have no shields, we're tanking this brutal swing, but we live it. And we have loaded energy to threaten whatever comes back in. The beauty of having superpowers, you can threaten steel types as well, but they come back in with the low health Dragonite. It makes me wonder what they have left in the back, and they shield. Very interesting play there, and they do farm down. So they're protecting this Dragonite. We're going to throw our Gyarados in here to absorb this damage. They were ABA weak to Charm and Steel, so this is why we come in with Gyarados. I'm predicting that there's something left in the back that we can handle, and it is a little squishy mole of their own. Gonna pressure that final shield, and we do have loaded energy, so we're gonna go for the combo play. Had a drill run locked and loaded for this opposing Excadrill, which allows us to say bye-bye to the Excadrill, and all they have left is that low-health Dragonite that does not have a prayer here because we outpace and we get to a Rock Slide, saying bye-bye to the Dragonite as well. Holy smokes. Excadrill this time, closing the game strong. You'd love to see it. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Had a blast with those bonus battles. As we move into the featured set of the video, we are met with yet another Dragonite. This time it's running Dragon Breath, so it can be a bit tricky, especially if you are new to Go Battle League with catching moves on opponents that have one-turn moves. but it can be done. You can go off of your own counts. We were not successful there. They were definitely at superpower energy. They usually will throw it and then retreat, but instead we catch a Dragon Claw. That's okay, not a big deal as they make an aggressive play into a Mamoswine. So the beauty of Waterfall Gyarados is we are doing super effective damage to this Mamoswine, and of course we can absolutely threaten with big damage from our Aqua Tails with Stab. Now, seeing this Mamoswine here, we are going to fight hard to control the alignment of this mid-game matchup here. Now, seeing that they have a Mamoswine, we definitely want to align our Excadrill back onto that Dragonite. The shielding scenario is now even, and I don't think that we will quite make it to a waterfall, but that is okay. So now we are calculating here. We're in a rough spot because either way, we're either going to have to give up a shield or take super effective damage, no matter which Pokemon we bring in. We elect to go with Excadrill because we knew that we had some energy stored. And we're just going to no-bubble this. And they shield, so we should have aggro swapped back in the Dragonite when we saw that they did that, because that means that they are weak to steel in the back. And now I'm kicking myself because I'm thinking if there's a Charmer, it's game over. But no, it is an Excadrill of their own. And my goodness, guess what, guys? We got updated with Season 12, which means that we now win the Zero Shield against Excadrill. In the past, that would have never happened, but now we're saying bye-bye to the little squishy mole, and we're farming down the opposing Dragonite. Holy smokes. Dragonite, closer extraordinaire. You love to see it. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. Dragonite, I think, may have the title for best closer in the Master Premier Classic. You love to see it. And here we go. Mamoswine lead. Very tricky. Kind of core breaks the whole team because, yes, we are a steel type, but we're also part ground. And Mamoswine hits hard. So we're going drill run here, guys. One thing to remember. Yes, Mamoswine is an ice type, but it is also a ground type. So that negates your Rock Slide. So definitely just go Drill Run whenever you're faced against the Mamoswine. They tank that, so we go into our Gyarados to get a Waterfall or two in. We did get one in, which absolutely chunked. And now we are met with an opposing Gyarados here. Going to go for the crunch, and we grab a shield. So we had to spend a shield in that lead matchup, so we're not willing to go completely down on shields, and we definitely tank a crunch, but this effectively puts us in farm down range. Gonna try to get off another crunch, but our opponent throws with impeccable timing just as we were getting to it, taking us out, and thus flipping switch, which allows them to control the alignment. So we're just going to get rid of this Gyarados here with a Rock Slide. They let that go. We are now even on shields, and they do have that low health Mamoswine in the back. It is in the red, courtesy of our Gyarados, but it is loaded on energy. Another tip of the hat to our opponent, being very judicious with their energy management. And we are forced to swap into our Dragonite, and we draw out a Metagross. Up a shield. We do have superpower, but Metagross is part psychic. It definitely tanks the superpower, and they're playing this beautifully. They are going to preserve their final shield, rightfully so, for the Excadrill, as we say bye-bye to our own Dragonite. And now Excadrill with no shields is a very sad Excadrill because it is about as squishy as a Pokemon gets. We could not quite get that one done. Big hats off to our opponent. They played that beautifully. Good game, well played. A Mamoswine lead, a little rough. That's the one Mamoswine lead we couldn't quite overcome, but here we are. Another lead we cannot overcome is right here. Nice shiny Haxorus. So whenever there is a Haxorus lead, Dragonite now becomes the safe swap to draw out something like this. We got a Magnezone here in front of us, and this is beautiful because on Haxorus leads, they have to have steel in the back, which makes Gyarados the closer for those types of teams. And now here we are. They went Wild Charge first. Hats off to them for switching it up. The usual way to play Magnezone is to bait Mirror Shot first, but They are playing unpredictably, and good on them for that. But we grab both of their shields with back-to-back superpowers, and we have been twice debuffed, which allows them to farm down, but that is fine. There is no Pokemon in this meta that shuts down Magnezone quite like an Excadrill, and they go Wild Charge to further debuff themselves, giving us less farm, fully expecting that Haxorus. Here it is, and we come in with our Gyarados, and there they have it. The second Steel type in the form of Metagross. Whether it's Metagross or Excadrill, Gyarados handles them beautifully, which is why drawing out that Magnezone was a thing of beauty, and this is an easy shield right here after our Crunch did loads of damage. Like I said, with Haxorus leads, Gyarados now becomes the closer, and this is looking pretty good here for us, guys. Although it is resisting our fast move pressure, it is almost equally as squishy as Excadrill, which means that this Crunch will do loads of neutral damage to the Haxorus, and it is now in the red, which is basically farm down range, and they cannot farm us down, even though they got the patented Night Slash boost. They're forced to throw, which means that it is all but over. They are fighting the good fight, but we were just 2 mud shots off from our drill run, which will seal the deal as they force close the app. I get it, it's frustrating, but we say bye-bye nonetheless to the beautifully shiny Haxorus in the end. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Steel double flyer with Dragonite in the back was quite powerful, I must say, guys. And here we go. Garchomp on the lead. This could be a Dragon double steel variation with Garchomp. Generally, you see it with Dragonite, but Garchomp is pretty effective as well. And here we go. We're going to stay in here and throw in our Gyarados after getting off some nice chip damage with our drill run. After we get some lag there, we don't have to shield anything from Dragon Tail Garchomp because it's generally running double ground charge moves. That is the recommended moveset if you're going to run Dragon Tail, but we're going to chip with an Aqua Tail, but they shield. So that clues us in that there are 2 steel types in the back that are likely going to have a very rough time with our Gyarados. We don't have to shield the Sand Tomb. We're letting that go. We have been twice debuffed, but there it is. Steel type number 1 in the form of Metagross. And we've loaded up on energy, so going to put the pressure on with a Crunch. They definitely tank that, but not too comfortably. It does do 50% health as they go for the farm down. So we could come in with either one of our 2 remaining Pokemon. We choose to come in with Dragonite because we are reading that there's an Excadrill in the back, and we're thinking that if we can load up by farming down this Metagross, we will leave this with a superpower. But they're on to us. They swap immediately after getting off that Meteor Mash. The beauty of Dragonite is you can now pressure Excadrill with superpower. And oh, they let that go. Holy smokes. Oh, they let it go. But I think they kind of had to call something, guys. They only had 1 shield, and they knew that we had an Excadrill left in the back. Unfortunate for them, but that's the power of Dragonite with the new Season 12 update. It was amazing. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Season 12 Dragonite OP. Holy smokes. And here we go. Florges on the lead. You'd love to see it if you're running Excadrill, and they aggressively swap into a Dragonite. What the heck? That is not a solid answer to an Excadrill. So seeing that they safe swap Dragonite onto our Excadrill, that clues us in that they are massively weak to an Excadrill lead. Holy smokes. So we bring in our own Dragonite in onto this opposing Dragonite, seeing it as the weakest link to our opponent's team. And we do get a shield from the opposing Dragonite. We're saving our Excadrill because I'm reading that this team is about as weak as it gets to an Excadrill lead. When Dragonite is your best answer to an Excadrill, you know you're in trouble if you find yourself faced with one, and here we are. They are back in on to their floor, just going to chip with an Aqua Tail and unleash our Excadrill on the remainder of this team. Holy smokes, it's a Metagross, my goodness, guys. They were triple weak to an Excadrill lead. I'm telling you, if Dragonite's your best answer to an Excadrill, you're in trouble, unfortunately. We're going for drill run number 1. They tank that, recognizing that they have to let something go. And we are absolutely shielding up this resisted Meteor Mash. Excadrill is where the win condition lies. My goodness, we are absolutely loaded on energy. We've got back-to-back drill runs, going for drill run number 1 onto this Florges. They shield, and we've got another one. Locked and loaded Excadrill, going on an absolute rampage. This will not KO, but it'll definitely be doing the damage. Florges has some very nice bulk in the Master League format. And I'm thinking, do your worst here. And my goodness, did they do their worst? They're running Petal Blizzard. Holy smokes. But Waterfall Gary's going to clean this up beautifully as we farm down the floor just before they get to a disarming voice. You'll love to see it. And that is the team, my friends. How about Dragonite on the double flyer team with Excadrill on the lead? This team is quite powerful. It has actually become my go-to team now for the remainder of Master Premier Classic when I am not recording battles for you guys, of course. But my goodness, good game well played to our opponent, and this team was amazing. Like I said, it is now my go-to team when I'm not recording battles for you guys, and that's just because it is so effective. I was finding that Excadrill was picking up amazing leads in this meta. A lot of people love leading with dragons and fairies, and Excadrill just shuts all that down. Even when they run a Metagross lead, you are having a fun time. And you round that out, Excadrill and Dragonite form a very powerful core. Of course, Excadrill protects Dragonite from the Charmers and opposing Steel types, while Dragonite protects Excadrill from the Water types and the Fighters. And you round out that amazingly powerful core with an equally amazingly powerful Zape Swap and Gyarados. Again, we started out with Dragon Breath, but found Waterfall worked out a lot better in the end. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.